Epicure's Lament.
The Epicure's Lament is, well, it started out, I wrote it after September 11th when I was pissed off and I was trying to write something earnest and healing and whatever about nice people up in the Hudson River Valley. And then there was this one character who walked into the book who was angry and antisocial and smoked too much. And he took over the book and then I just gave it over to him. And I think that happens every time on some level. Like, there's a rebellious, antisocial character who says and does things that I can't say or do, who isn't good, who doesn't fulfill the requirements that Iowa instilled in me that took me years to get over, that American writing is earnest and such bullshit. So I think then it starts to be fun when it becomes more satirical or antisocial or rebellious on some level.
You care to go? Actually, you coined a really great phrase, "loser lit," which I think is a really good, you know, I don't know, umbrella term for a lot of. I don't know. You want to run with that a little bit or no? Because I felt, you know, that ran through some of your, you know, a lot of your books, you know, and mine as well. So.
Yeah, well, it's that tradition of, yeah, exactly. I mean, the fuck up is a loser lit classic, as a matter of fact.
And what are some of the I don't know, hallmark loser lit works that you, because you had a...
Lucky Jim, The Horse's Mouth, Jernigan by David Gates is a great one. Those are the three I always think of. The fuck up. My first novel was In the Drink, and I wrote it as a kind of, like, it's time for a woman to be a loser narrator. But then chick lit happened, and it got sort of put in that... It just shows that you can't control...
And how you're perceived, or misperceived. Or, you know, swept up.
Oh, was it chick lit, right?
Yeah, I mean, you hated that, right?
Well, you know, yeah.
It was very well. It was a kind of, yeah. Which says a lot about how, I mean, how things are perceived, how they're quickly misperceived, I think, by the critical, I don't know, by critics, and then even to some degree by audiences, how you're kind of categorized. This is a very categorical business, and that really works to, it can work to your advantage if you plan to do more or less the same thing over and over.
Did that ever happen to you?
Well, I feel like it's happening now a little bit with this whole series that I'm doing. Like, you know, I've done these kind of happy-go-lucky downtown characters that, you know, they sit into kind of a profile. I had intended to write 3 books about downtown artists who I, you know most of my life. I mean, these types of people. And so Dog Run, Unlubricated, and Chinese Takeout, an actress, a writer, an actress, and a painter. And I wanted them actually to be a single continuous trilogy, and I couldn't find it. And this actually says a lot. At the time I pitched it to my publisher, Simon & Schuster, MTV. And they were like, we don't want to do a trilogy, this is MTV, you know, which is fine, which is absolutely fine. But they were the ones that, after Akashic rescued the fuck up, they were the ones that stole it from us. Yeah, that's it.
They're the villains.
They were the villains, bastards.
At the Indie Book Fest.
Yeah, they found the clause in the contract and were able to get that loophole. But anyway, but the bottom line is, I conceived of doing these types of books, and I wrote them, and by the time I finished writing these 3 books, I kind of got pigeonholed as doing these kind of books and only these kind of books.
Like downtown dark comedies.
Yeah, exactly. That,
about artists.
Exactly, and that's kind of, and now with the new works, the new series that I'm doing, I'm getting this kind of like, this isn't that.
This isn't a Nersesian novel. This is Philip K. Dick or whatever.
Exactly. And it's,
or Kafka, or...
And I think writers in the past maybe did more. I mean, I guess, you know, you think of, when you think of most writers, they really all have signature books they do. But I always wondered, like, well, anyway, yeah. So there's that.
So yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how would you characterize, I mean, I just said Philip K. Dick and Kafka. Would you agree that, I mean, those are sort of, that's more sort of the direction that you're going in the new?
Well, this new, you know, it's like I don't think any writer has ever sat down and said I'm going to do a, you know, a kind, you know.
No,
you know. I mean, I really was just, you know, measuring the fabric to, you know, to the body of whatever it is I was trying to do. I use whatever techniques and whatever things it is that best tell the story. But you know, so yes, I have departed from the standard like social realist style that I've had in the past. But you know, I mean, I did a little of that in Manhattan Loverboy, so I don't feel like you know.
I was just going to say Manhattan Loverboy and also Suicide Casanova both have kind of fantastical elements. I mean, again, I think this fits right into the rest of your novels in that there's a shadow of New York, but now you've made it literal. You've made a replica in the Nevada desert of New York City. Whereas, you know, the novels that you've set in New York, I've always sensed this kind of, not fairy tale, because they're dark, they're very dark, but a kind of fantastical or like an alter ego of New York City. I mean, it's very much New York City, but it's what's so great about all these novels is that it's not a New York-y kind of.
Well, I kind of don't feel like I know the present day New York anymore. I mean, this New York that's existing. I mean, you see places that you couldn't afford to go into that, you know, I would pee in there 20 years ago, and it's like, so it's like a whole different city, and you know, it's, I mean, I'm sure I'm going to probably, you know, I'm going to write New York novels in the future, but it's like, I don't know, I almost wish I could kind of go, I don't know, even back to the past, which would.
So it's like you're getting increasingly alienated from the city that you were born in.
Yeah, no,
which is a weird thing to have.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't recognize it.
Yeah.
Don't judge me.
Your girlfriend in Minnesota wants you to say something positive.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
Actually, we have to cut you guys off now.
Oh,
We're just at time.
Oh,
Wow. If you guys have any questions or anything, notebooks are right outside, just to the left of the door. So you guys can.
Wait, what time is it? This happens when I talk on the phone number too. Our phone conversations go on and on.
Oh, they passed my kidney.
I told him to bring a dry pinto bean with ketchup on it. I told him that.